Hello. All right. It is 1:03. What day is it? It's Tuesday. And the news happens so fast now. It's insane. It's crazy. I have no notes in front of me. Just might go to Twitter for my notes. But currently William Barr, Attorney General, is testifying before Congress. I'm not entirely sure on the specific details, what they're talking. I think it's really everything, because he is really freaky. His actions support authoritarianism very, very strongly. He obviously is a fan of the Portland troops. He is a fan of Trump's decision and was obviously very involved in his decision to pardon Roger Stone. I don't know the extent of his involvement. I really struggle to, just because I'm not like the smartest person when it comes to like the federal branch. So I don't really know the specifics and the details, and I don't have a great understanding of them. I have my mom try to explain it to me, but these are so dirty. I really don't get it all that well. So I'm sure you guys know the details a lot more than I do. But he's testifying right now. Matt Gaetz is questioning him right now. This should be very interesting. Hold up. Matt Gaetz is terrifying. He's such a he's really ugly.
It's like Portland, where we don't have the support of the local government, we have to take a stand and defend this federal property. We can't get to a level where we're going to accept these kinds of violent attacks on federal courts.
And if you did what my Democrat colleagues were asking, if you merely abandoned
Like how
that
ugly he
federal
is.
property, allowed it to be overrun,
Federal
allowed
property.
the people inside to be harmed, is it your view then that Antifa and other violent people?
He's so stupid. There's nothing like that. Nothing like that's happening.
Your expert opinion, having dealt with a number of law enforcement
It's your expert opinion.
cases, and your legal
Yeah, he's
they wouldn't stop, that they would go to the next town, to the next community, and potentially
Matt Gaetz is very, very dumb.
That in my mind that it would spread.
This is such a
And what
dumb
comfort can you
dumb
give
statement.
Americans
Why is it
in your
dumb?
district?
Because I don't want to look at his face anymore. That's an incredibly stupid statement, considering what we know about civil discontent and how a public reacts to this. If you don't know, I've talked about it a lot. It's like against every rule in the book to overstep with feds, because that gets the general public, who may not have had an opinion, on the side of the protesters. Ethan says I look like a surfer dude. Okay, yeah, I guess. I'll say thank you. What's up, Leah? Man, the trending topics right now are kind of scary. Big Pharma. I don't like when Big Pharma trends. And my train of thought. I really don't have like a clear idea of what I want to talk about right now. But the news is kind of scary. And obviously in the House, you're going to have Republican senators just like licking the toes of William Barr, while we have the highly intellectual Democrats who are pussies in their own way. Not really fighting back. And on that note of Democrats being unable to fight back, there was a new stimulus bill. Who is... Okay. There's a new stimulus bill that there's a video that I'm gonna watch from our boy Bernie Sanders. That, if you could have guessed, it passed in the Senate, so obviously it's very, very conservative. A lot of money went to the military, and very little money, no money, in some respects, went to working class and poor people. So let's watch this. Our goat.
A word.
Yeah, the 600 a week unemployment benefits are being slashed, and their incentive, and the reason for cutting employment benefits and any welfare, which we all know very well at this point, is because it disincentivizes people to go to work, and if people don't have the incentive, people don't have the incentive to go work, they well, obviously our economy can't open. But what I don't see how Republicans fail to understand, I mean, I can guess, and it's because they're stupid. Republicans fail to realize that COVID and the economy are very, very tightly knit, as in they are the same issue. So if you deal with Corona, and if you deal with getting COVID under control, you fix the economy. But if you only try to fix the economy while ignoring COVID, you don't get the economy, and you kill a bunch of people. We saw this happen in Florida and Texas. There's a very good ad by Midas Touch that basically just made fun of Texas for opening early. The problem with opening early is that, yes, people are employed again for a short amount of time, and restaurants are able to open, and family-owned businesses can open. The problem with that is that little glimpse of hope lasts for only 2 weeks, and and after those 2 weeks are up, you have a huge spike in cases and we all know what's going on. I don't need to explain it to you. People die if you open too early. I just realized I wasn't even looking at my chat. I went to Texas. I got back today. Yeah, Texas is a scary place right now. I was looking at their COVID charts. That's just a perfect case of opening the economy without taking care of COVID. I don't understand. It's a simple math equation, right? Dealing with COVID plus I don't know how I'm gonna describe this, but you need to deal with COVID before you can deal with the economy. And once you deal with COVID, the economy will come back. So when you slash unemployment benefits because you are afraid that people getting paid $600 a week because they're unemployed and can't afford groceries or their rent, and you're like, well, they need to go back to work, you are shooting yourself in the foot and killing innocent people, because you will not get the economy open. You will instead just have homeless dead people. Yep. So the new stimulus bill provides no assistance in being able to eat food. People need to eat food. People need to have the basics covered to stay alive, so we can close the country for at least 4 weeks. And after that, we have a much higher chance of opening the economy and controlling the virus. What is it? It's like if everyone wore a mask for 6 to 8 weeks or so, 4 to 6 weeks, something like that, COVID would essentially be the same as like a flu. Like it would not be a massive problem, and we could open our economy. They don't understand because their dumb little conservative brains don't allow them to care about humans. So they can't fight the COVID. They can't fight Corona because that will help people, and they can't do that. It's against their religion. Yeah, I don't understand why they're doing this. Why are we investing so much in the military right now? What's going on with that? That's super weird. $686 million for new jets? New jets won't fix COVID. I don't understand it. I physically cannot understand how we came to this conclusion. Actually, maybe I can. Oh, I think I understand. You know how a lot of our other stimulus bills were also shitty and only helped the rich? Obviously, the military industrial complex is a huge market. The producers of our equipment, they only sell to America. We are their only customer, essentially. And if that falls, a huge part of our economy falls. Again, that is such a minute problem that we're facing. That's not the issue. The issue is being able to get people safe so we can reopen the country. Not trying to save the economy by bailing out and supplying new military equipment. That doesn't build the economy. That just builds a fucking fascist authoritarian state, if anything. 100% tax deductions for business meals through the end of the year. Speak to me, Bernie.
They are now giving 100% deduction.
Yes.
For rich people to go out and have 3 martini lunches. But you know what? Millions of families in this country are facing hunger. There's not an additional nickel in their package for nutrition programs for children or for working people.
Yeah, it's all of it benefits the rich, because in a capitalist society, the rich will control the government. There's literally a company that works with governments, I forgot the damn name, that writes bills for the government, that will write bills for Republicans, and then they'll just put them in front of the Republicans, pay them money, and they'll sign it. There's even been cases where the Republican senators have forgotten to erase the name of the company. Like, they forgot. It says like header, and then like you're supposed to like put your name, like it says like name, you know, like when you're in like grade school and you get like a packet that has like, it's like enter name here and you have to like write in your name. Like they forgot to like put their name on it. And business buys politics. So of course they're going to benefit the richest people in America the most, because in their eyes that's the only way the economy can stay afloat, because we don't care about the working class here.
Not a nickel in their proposal for elections. Not a nickel for...
This is also just blatantly trying to suppress voters, because... Oh, also, happy National Vote by Mail Day. That's today. You don't need to be very active on Twitter or politically active to realize that Trump has been trying to shut down the vote by mail and calling it a fraud, and that it leads to voter fraud, and that vote by mail is threat to our democracy when he actually votes by mail, and almost everyone in his family votes by mail. They don't actually leave their house, but of course they can do it, but we the people can't. Also he appointed a new I don't fucking know, like, head of the United States Postal Service, which who shares Trump's ideology and rhetoric, and is basically tanking the Postal Service. And I think, I don't have the details, but he wants it to be privatized. I think he wants to sell the USPS to business and to privatize our Postal Service, which is terrifying, a terrifying notion. Do you know why the United States Postal Service is so important? Essentially, it allows people to pay the same amount for mail if you're in the middle of rural Kansas or in a major city. You pay the same. You don't need to pay more if you live rural. They ship all over America for the same rate. That is hugely beneficial and one of the most important tools for securing a fair election, because we need everyone who can vote to vote. And obviously the people who don't believe in COVID, and the people who will risk their lives and their families to go out to the polls, and the people who are literally burning their vote by mail ballots are Trump supporters, right? And the people getting suppressed and the people who will suffer the most from losing the chance to vote by mail are everyone who cares about COVID, but more importantly, minority communities and underfunded communities who have who suffer multiple different types of voter suppression. Examples are voter ID laws and just the closing of polling stations or ballots in their area. So those people benefit hugely from being able to vote by mail, because their poll stations get closed when a Republican comes into power, or their ballots get closed. Their voting, whatever it's called. So obviously, if you deny people the right to vote by mail, you are losing a lot of votes for Biden, and that is blatant voter suppression. But of course, because we're Democrats, except for Bernie, who's a good person, they go low, we go high, right? Democrats are incredibly complicit right now. It's disgusting and infuriating. Nancy Pelosi does not have the ability to speak up. They're just kicking this ball down the road. Every time they pass a new stimulus bill, they're like, you know what? We just got to get it out there because people are dying. But next time we'll ensure that it's actually helpful. Every time. That's the way it's been going, and that's incredibly. You're just handing it to the Republicans. You're just handing them what they want.
Postal Service. So what you are saying is, I think their priorities are coming out pretty clearly.
They very are.
In addition to the 100% deduction for lunches and entertainment, they also have some $30 billion into the Pentagon on top of the $740 billion bill that was passed last week. So bottom line here is, obviously, Democrats in the Senate have got to remain strong.
They got to be strong in the first place. Just like they're not very good at fighting.
We've got to make absolutely clear that workers in this country continue to receive that $600.
Yes.
In my view, $1,200 per person is not enough. We should go up to $2,000. And by the way, we should guarantee health care for all people during this terrible crisis when so many people are worried about the pandemic.
Well said, Mr. Bernie. Well said. Guys, he's a smart guy. Never heard of him before. He's a pretty intelligent guy. Yeah, that is everything he said is obviously true. One thing, so the reason you see a lot of conservatives right now who are so angry about COVID, it's not because people are dying. It's simply because COVID is exposing a a massive amount of flaws in our current political and economic system. For instance, the fact that you don't get health care. People are dying because they don't have access to good health care. They lose their health care if they get fired. And the, I guess, dependence of the Republicans and also a few Democrats, but the political dependence on the 1% to support politicians. So obviously it's like a sort of a type of quid pro quo. Like, if, like, we'll bail you out, just like keep getting me elected, keep making me money, you know? That is all being put on blast right now because the people do not want the richest people to get 100% tax deductions on their meals, because the people can't afford meals right now. We're seeing all these rich people being able to not pay taxes on their expensive, lavish dining, when the average American is about to lose the only source of income, the $600 a week, to pay for their week's groceries, in addition to gas, and in addition to hopefully not, but probably, just because we're in a pandemic, their medical bills. So it is deeply sad, but at the same time very obvious. I think for the first time all the curtains have been pushed aside and we can really see the influence of wealth in our political system, and how capitalism really destroys the average American. Those are my thoughts. We have 4 viewers right now. I don't know if I should tweet that I'm live. I don't really know what to do about that. I'm gonna tweet. Streaming on YouTube. You guys aren't really active in chat, so I can't tell what's going on. Whoops, I don't want to hear myself. Let me just put the link. Perfect. All right. How are you guys doing? You guys doing in chat? Are you also sad? Don't be, because we're going to talk about burnout prevention. Because I know if any of you guys are like me, you got very politically involved very, very fast. A lot faster than you would have liked to become politically involved. I'm loving it for the most part. There's been a few nights where I don't love it, because sleeping is hard. But I have done a little bit of research. I've talked to a few people I know who are studying psychology and who are actually psychologists. And the most important thing when engaging in politics at the level that I am, and that I'm sure a bunch of people watching are, is that if you burn out, the movement burns out with you, right? So burnout is the burnout is what happens when you invest so much of your energy into one specific issue or maybe passion, I guess, and then you last like 3 weeks giving it your all, and then you wake up one day and you're like, oh, I can't do this. My mental health cannot handle another day of reading the news, and you burn out. And it's sad, but it is also preventable. Because for me, I enjoy this a lot. So I do find... Whoa, sorry guys, hold up. I did start Minecraft. So we're going to be playing Minecraft after I give a quick intro to Burnout. So I enjoy the amount of politics that I've been consuming and political content that I've been producing. It's very fun for me personally. I've never been able to articulate my ideas as strongly as I now am. I've very much enjoyed the research that's gone into it, the work that's come out of it, and the minds that I have changed. And that is true. I have changed minds. I didn't expect to, but I've had people DM me after looking over the document, and I'm not responsible for all the content in that document, obviously. But they said that they had a conversation with their father, and most of the political conversations that they have had in the past had accumulated to screaming matches between the two of them, and no one would win, and it would just create anger and an unpleasant environment in their family. And then they told me that they read a little section on civil discourse, and they had a good conversation, and they listened to each other, and they changed the minds of her own father, which is very impressive because they tend to be very stubborn. So that is just me flexing for a little bit. Please excuse. But that is something I enjoy doing, and that's enough motivation for me to keep doing it. Now, it's very easy to feel like the amount of work that you've put in is not worth it, because we are humans and we are creatures who like instant gratification so much more than I don't know the other term, but like long-term gratification, I guess. If that's why we procrastinate, that's why I choose to play video games over like writing an essay, because video games are more fun. So it's hard to engage in politics and feel like you're doing any real work and any good work because you don't get results right away. And this usually will either accumulate to two scenarios. A, you stop, you give up, which, I mean, it's not ideal, but I mean, if you're not enjoying it, if you're not enjoying the work, then you won't do good work. But the other one, and this is honestly worse, is you will try to prove to people, and this is something I just did, but you will try to prove to people that you are doing good work, so you'll kind of accidentally become a performative activist, and you'll like, I don't know, fucking text your black friends who'll be like, hey, did you see the TikTok I posted about Black Lives Matter? And they'll hate you for that, and everyone will hate you for that. You want validation for your work to come in systemic change and cultural change. That's how you should be getting your validation, not from your black friend. So where am I going with this? How to prevent burnout, because burnout leads to these common issues. Separate so now politics is work for you guys and for me. Politics is work. So take leisure time. Give yourself time to, If you have a pool near you, go to the pool, read a book, play video games if that's what you like to do to relax. I know that's what I like to do to relax. Hang out with your friends if you can, safely. You just want to make sure that you are not letting this override every part of your life. If you have friends who are just as politically active, then it's kind of fun because you can bring this conversation out into your real world. But if you don't, that's even better because you can forget about it for a little while. Trust me, this is a long haul. The world isn't going to change. You don't need to be on Twitter 24/7 to change the world. You do not. I've been learning that the hard way. I have a very bad habit of checking Twitter right before I go to bed. Around like 2 a.m. I'll be like, oh shoot, what's going on Twitter? I check it. I get sad. I think about it for too long. And I don't sleep well. So you really want to ensure that you are being smart with your time. Invest time into things that make you happy. Politics makes me happy, but there are other things that make me even happier. So I try to spend as much of my time doing that as I can. For instance, I've been teaching myself instruments. When quarantine first started, I was teaching myself the piano. I would say I'm fairly good at the piano now. I'm a pretty good pianist. Now I'm learning guitar. Beautiful instrument. Very hard, very different from a piano. I think if I can get guitar and piano under my belt, I have a very good footing in learning how to play other instruments. I would love to try to play bass. Anyways, that's just me. That's what I like to do too. With my free time, is learn new skills because it's very satisfying. That also teaches me, learning new skills like instruments, how to see the worth in long-term gratification rather than short-term, because if any of you have tried to teach yourself an instrument or learn an instrument, you're not good for a very long time. And I'm not good at guitar. I'm decent. No, I'm not even. I'm not good at guitar at all. I suck at guitar, actually. But piano, that's been like a 6-month ordeal, and I'm pretty confident in my skill, and I'm happy with how that worked out. So I guess the message is take time to yourself, do what you want to do. Another great option is video games. Do not let politics take over your life. Do not let it do that. Spend time learning, spend time teaching, spend time trying to change minds. Spend a little bit of time being scared to death because of the state of our world. But also, and this is what has helped me the most with my fear, is that the way the world works, and the way history works, is that we are not the end of history. You find it, that's very hard to like visualize in your head, that there's going to be a lot of time after us, more time than there was before us. It's going to be more time than there was before us, after us. Really weird to think about. I don't like thinking about that. But that doesn't mean that we're insignificant in any way. It just means that we are just one step in building a better future. When feudalism was the number one way to go when it came to ruling a country, people who lived in that time thought that they were the end of history and that this is the best we got, and here we are. Then we had the Enlightenment, and now we are in a capitalist democratic as you can get under a capitalist society. And a lot of us believe that this is the best we can get. And there'd be many people who would argue that this is not the best we can get. And everyone all the progressives and all the Marxists and all the people who tend to fall on the left, they know, they have an understanding that there's more to be done and that we are not stuck in this period of time, and this is not the best we can do. They knew that slavery wasn't the best we could do, unless you're a fucking... This one Republican senator, what's his name? I don't know, doesn't matter. He just came on record, I think like 2 days ago, saying slavery was a necessary evil, which I have my thoughts on that. But generally speaking, it took us some time, but we realized that slavery was not the best we could do. We could do better, and we can always do better, and we will do better. Yeah, I feel so guilty whenever I'm not doing the most. Don't feel so. Don't. Sorry, that's so invalidating. Yeah, that's what I mean when I said the world isn't gonna end because you didn't check Twitter for an hour, right? You just need to be in it for the long haul, or else you will really suffer mentally, and the movement won't go anywhere. It will die with you. Like, it may not be in our lifetime. I think economically and culturally speaking, we are in the best position we have been in a very, very long time to push for complete systemic reform and systemic overhaul, to really institute a system that provides equality to everyone living under it. We are probably in the best position to do that. I read an article. I wish I had it in front of me. It might be on my Twitter. I think I liked it. That millennials are polling significantly more, are identifying more as socialists than ever before. I would credit that to Bernie Sanders for normalizing the term socialist and making it not such a dirty word here in America. How do you go to your liked on Twitter? Curious. Likes. Bloomberg. This is an opinion piece. But burdens the poor more than the rich, afflicts blacks more than the white. Okay, boomer, we're gonna socialize you. The pandemic is turning millennial. Whoa, what accent was that? The pandemic is turning millennials into socialists. We must make them better. We must make them a better offer. Okay, I don't like the we must make them a better offer, because I think socialism is a very good offer. Unless you are like advocating for a total revolution to install communism, which I don't think we should do right now. But millennials are tending to be more socialist right now because they are, like I said before in the stream, COVID is really pulling back the curtains and exposing the inconsistencies in and the fundamental self-destructive qualities of capitalism. Yeah, just don't feel guilty about not doing the most. I'm here. What's up? What's up, Veniza? Sorry, I didn't make an announcement that I was streaming, but I'm glad my core has found me. We're about to start playing Minecraft. I think to summarize my little burnout section is that care, don't stop caring about it. Don't stop talking about it, but don't let it override your life. Allow yourselves to see your friends who aren't political. Allow yourself to just go on a drive, just clear your head, do activities that make you feel good. Do activities that give you that short-term gratification that you won't get through politics, because you need a little bit of that in your life. If not, you'll look for that short-term gratification in politics, and you will end up just like trying to virtue signal and show how woke you are, which is cringy as fuck. We can always do better, and we will do better. We're not the end of history. We're just a very small moment. And right now we have the potential to cause massive change. And we will. But only if we take care of ourselves first. Good politics is good self-care. Let's play Minecraft. Why is Minecraft not playing? Play Minecraft. I said play Minecraft. Game capture. Ugh. Minecraft. What about this? Okay, there we go. I'd go for a drive, but I don't have a car. Go for a walk. Do you have a scooter? Damn. Alright, I did a little bit of off-camera work. I finally have the facilities to make a bed. I'm very happy about that. Light a Roman candle with me. Please excuse my very sad bedroom. Self-care is watching Adrian. Dude, I'm doing self-care right now. I really enjoy streaming. I do enjoy politics. So this is very self-care of me. Also, like, when I have the ability to focus, I like getting work done. And then when my meds wear off, I just kind of do bullshit for the rest of the day. Ain't no shame. Let me cook this raw beef first. Yes. Oh man, we are big chilling right now. We need to start building a house. Do an Indian accent, please, I beg. Am I gonna be racist? Probably. From what region of India? So I can not be racist. Fuck, dude, I can't. The only, like, terms I know, like, off the dome of a Indian accent is definitely, like, a stereotypical, like, hello, welcome to Quickie Mart, you know? Like, the fucking Family Guy trope. Hello. Trevor Noah has a really funny bit. His Indian accent's so good. Welcome to India. We have cows. Is that good? Indian? Welcome to India. Did you say India accent or Indian? Oh my god, I'm fucking racist. You said Indie. Is that like cursive? Yo, I'm such a dumbass. Oh my god. Hello. You can only sleep at night during thunderstorms? Fuck. Man. He really just read Indian. I typed out Indie. I know, I read it quickly. I read it too fast. I wasn't paying attention. Damn. I was like, really? You guys are just gonna, like, want me to be, like, subtly very kind of racist? Like, you want that? I'll do it only if I have your consent. Damn, sorry to all the Indian viewers I have. I really hope you guys... I wish you the best of luck under Modi. Speaking cursive. Oh, fuck. Give me a phrase. Hello. Okay, I can... My cursive accent isn't good because I thought it was cringy when people would, like, do it. Like, as a joke. I'm like, this is stupid. So I never tried it. Ew, I hate you. I'm sorry, guys. I really... Dude, please don't send this to Twitter. Please don't send this clip to Twitter. I'll get canceled so fast. I'm so sorry. Oh, was it a good accent? Or was it racist? I need to know. If it was a good accent, then I'm not being culturally appropriative. If it's... I told you. I was like, this is weird. I don't know why you want me to do this. But I'll do it. Man, you can't fucking win, can you? What are the odds? Imagine fucking up that much. L. All right, where should we need to find a spot to build our lovely abode. Why can't I do parkour? Half of me wants to build it like in this little area, but I don't know. It's kind of ugly. I don't like all the rocks. I'm a big fan of the forest. Should I like go on a big like? Should I move all my stuff on a big trek? Oh, let's make a compass. Let's make a compass. Xi Jinping, sun is canceled 2020. Oh, word. I wanted to talk about that actually. I changed my name on TikTok back to Down with Xi Jinping. I don't care if I get banned anymore. I will live with that. If communist China tries to ban me, I will live with the consequences. I just cannot abandon my roots of hating the dictator known as Xi Jinping. I will never abandon that. I live by that. I do hate Xi Jinping. So I had to change my name back. I simped. Did I tell you guys that? This girl told me to change my username on TikTok to uglystupidboy123, and I was like, fine. I did, because I liked her. What a simp. Alright. How should I build this? Because I have an idea. This area isn't all lost. This can be like my cave entrance. I can build this up and make it a nice little like mining district entrance. I can have my main house be over here. What's the top? What if I terraform? See, but I don't like this view. This view's disgusting. What about over there? This little section might be nice. Bags by Clara. Seems like someone else. I know. I'm sorry. Sorry for my feelings. Let me just see if... Okay. Ah, this is better. I can see. Ah, there's a snow biome. I'm in a very interesting place. We got like a forest over there, a jungle right here, snow that way. Huh. I don't know where to build. What if I built a house like right up here? What if I took this down a little bit, a few floors, and built my house like on this little... That wouldn't be too bad. We'll get through. Fuck. I won't get over it. Well, I would hope you'd still watch my content. Oh yeah, just in time for Minecraft. Welcome. Should I build it here? We could like have a path that goes this way. You could like make this a trail. Claire and Bon Iver for now. Funny. Yeah, I think we can like make this nice. Put a little cobble trail over here. Maybe even add a layer of dirt. Terraform that. I think I'm gonna shave down a few layers over here. Build my thing. Maybe even like a little balcony that goes over this edge. Could be nice. Could be real nice. Yeah, it's not the tallest, but at least I have the view of the forest rather than like this gross. Yep, that's what I'm doing. I've decided. You guys are no help at all. Didn't even give me any advice. Why the I need a shovel. I wish I had diamond. Alright, let's get it. Light a Roman candle. I'm so excited. This is gonna be a fucking dope ass house. Put some respect on my sadness. Did I say it wrong? What is it? Boniver? Boniver? Sounded like a Aussie saying bend over. Oh my grief. I'm so sorry. Man, first I was like racist to you. Then I was man, I'm really not being great. I don't know, streamer right now. No, actually fuck you. I don't care about your feelings. Oops. Does grass... Is it faster to mine grass than dirt? No, it's not. Never mind. I can't win. The American people are tired of women. Why'd he even say that? What was the context of Bernie saying that the American people are tired of women? There's only some women. There's a few women I'm kind of exhausted by their presence. Most are fine. For the most part, I'm a fan of women. I'm really out here breaking hearts. That's what I do. Are you fucking serious? Why is it dark? I just slept. That's it. Camp? For real though, someone know the context of Bernie Sanders saying that he's tired of women? I still, that baffles me. Alright. Let's get back to business. Get the fuck away from me, you fucking pervert. I don't know, I never destined for an American man. I'm so lucky. For the most part? Yeah, for the most part, I support women being allowed to live in our society. By ours, I mean a white male society. I will let them stay. I'm trolling. I'm trolling, please. I don't actually hate most women. I just have one English teacher that I didn't like. That's all. That's all. Alright. I think I'm gonna want some cobblestone on this build. Oh, he's talking about the wage gap? I just need to watch the entire video. Are tired of... Oh! That's such an unfortunate cut. The American people are tired of women. Oh man, oh poor Bernie. Forget Gun Girl. I hate Gun Girl. She's the worst. Oh my god, I can't. Alright, what do we think? Do we like this? Whew, I don't know how to... I'm not inspired, guys. I'm really struggling to find inspiration. Damn. Let me organize this. Okay. Okay. Cool. Love life, but what sounds me the most is he's gonna leave his stream pronouncing. Yeah, I'd say I didn't even say it because I don't want to be wrong again. I'm gonna refer to him as Boniver. Boniver. I want to throw hands with Gun Girl too. I've never shot a gun before, but I feel like I could just outshoot her. Like, I feel like I'm 100% a better shot. And it's only because she's a woman. And in my opinion, women are much more incapable of everything than men. You know? I think that's a fair statement to say. But, like, across the board, like, and this is true of all women, they just are inferior to the capabilities of men. Right? Yeah. I think we can all agree in chat that that is the case. Okay, this is ugly as fuck. Fam, it's Bonivar. Bonivar. Boniver. Oi, mate. It's Boniver. Yeah, I think that's better. I like mine. Mine. Man. Being sexist is so fucking weird to me. Like, not joking anymore. I don't understand why people, like, unironically, like, don't like women and don't want them to succeed. I don't get it. Adrian, slow down. No. I need to have this go in. Yeah, this is how you build a... I built freaking Minecraft house, mate. Yeah. Right. That's phenomenal. Fuck. You said it right the second time. I don't remember which one I said. Yeah. People who unironically hate women. I mean, I know why they do it. I don't like, personally, I don't understand their reasoning. But I think it comes from a failure of introspection. I don't know. If you're unable to... Oh, fuck. Fuck. Oh, I fucked it up again. I hate building in Minecraft. Or I used to like it when I was like decent at it. But now I'm bad. Like, I'm pretty not great at building in Minecraft. How does this look? Shit. Looks like shit. Absolute garbage, my guy. Yeah, I want it to be down one more. It's weird because I'm building from underneath it. Incels. Yeah, so they blame all their inabilities. They blame all of their personal failures on women. And they view the success of women as a threat. Damn, I'm making this look awful. Why is this so hard for me? Fuck. I need to make it wider. Why can't I build that? I need to like watch fucking a YouTube tutorial again. Or not a tutorial on how to build a house, just like building tips. Minecraft building tips and tricks. You got a better... I think because the inside, right, is supposed to be like here. Like this is a totally valid house proportion. And it goes out here and it goes... Like this makes total sense to building a house in Minecraft. Oh, wait. Did I fuck up or not? I'm confused. I'm so lost. As a woman, I also blame all my failures on women. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, this is why it looks so weird, because the floor level is different, right? For me to be like level with, I gotta be like up here. I gotta, ugh. The same, but the woman is me. If you're a woman blaming all your problems on women, and that, Jesus Christ, that woman, if you're a woman blaming your problems on women, and that woman is yourself, then you're just a little too introspective. TBH. How is this going for me? This is going horribly. I'm like embarrassing myself right now. Truly. It's truly an embarrassment. My inability to build a house in Minecraft is shining. Please. Oh, this is way too high. Something like that, and then I want this to go out, to go out like all over the edge. Okay, let's just tear this down and have a frame. That's the first step in a Minecraft house. Build the frame, worry about the walls later. I can do it. Okay, yeah. This needs to go. Wish I had a better... I need more materials. I need more mats, bro. Now this needs to come out like all the way. All the way like to here. Oops. I'm gonna build with stone first. That was a good joke. Good joke, Beniza. I can decorate this leg a little bit more. Oh, god damn it. Are you serious? Raiders? Get away! How do I zoom in? I forgot my zoom button. Alright, boys. I'm a fan of this. I'm probably gonna find a way to build up this leg and make it look less weird. Make like some different styles of bricks and whatnot. So this can look a little more normal. What a dumbass. Stupid fucking squid. Yeah. Kinda cool. Something like this. Let me out. Maybe. Or is this like actually super ugly? That could be fine. I go sleep for. Please, I do not want these pillagers. That squid's really going through it right now. Whoops. Chilling. Okay. Do I have more, like, logs? Fuck. I gotta get logs. Yeah, I'm pretty decent at mining. If you can, like, zone out, you can mine forever. And it's very kind of satisfying. Okay, yeah, I don't hate that. If I continue that aesthetic around and kind of decorate the rest of the beams with like this little support system. Then I gotta build another one out here. That'll be the back. I want these guys to leave and never come back. Another one. That could be cool. Could be nifty. I just need to remember how to build an actual house. Like, I might have to want to go in and clear out this layer of dirt and rock just so it lines up with the entrance. Maybe. I think I'll have to do that, yeah. For now, let me just get some more wood. Because this is crucial. What's up, Nadia? Shut up. Shut up. A chicken farm. I need to start getting farms together. See, my brother and I, we'd always play Minecraft together, and like I was good at he was really good at the automation, at building farms and having everything run on its own. I just kind of like, that's cool. I'll go like mine and build shit. So I actually used to be a good builder. Right now, I'm not really proving that to you guys. My building skills are obviously lacking. But I'm gonna need to reteach myself how to fully automate my... Yeah, I'm gonna build a staircase up and make that entire path like nice. But I think I need to level the floor first. Just erase like one more level because I built it all off of that. Oh no. We're no vegan Minecraft over here. I'll be vegan in real life. That's hard enough. Being vegan in Minecraft is it's not something I need to worry about. Okay, 64 is good for now. That's fast. 64 is not that much. Ooh. And I'm gonna build a bridge. Yeah. I'm gonna want a bridge. Probably in the future. Oh, that's so embarrassing. I missed. It really pains me. I'm so sorry. Damn, you like are not having a fun time in my stream right now. First, I'm like racist. Then I'm sexist. Damn. Now I'm killing the earth. Killing my environment. Through my capitalist tendencies to want to automate everything, to produce goods as efficiently as possible. Except if I am the only person, that means I'm the worker, and I have successfully seized the means of production. So, actually, this is full-on, like, fucking anarcho-socialism in my Minecraft world. I'm my own worker. I'm my own boss. Damn. If only we all were so lucky. Yeah, no, I completely seized the means of production. Haha. Good meme. Oh, whoa. Major lag. You could make the argument. I mean, it's a narco something, right? There's no state. No borders. Minecraft is everything and nothing. There's no ideology. There's no politics. It's equally fascist as it is libertarian. No, is that wild? Actually, no, it's definitely not fascist. You cannot make that comparison. The commie dream. I know. Dude, if they just had Minecraft, they'd be so much happier. So I'm gonna introduce my boy Marks to Minecraft. He would love it. Get these if he shoots at me, I will fucking like destroy him. Actually, I won't because I don't have a shield. Hell yeah. Whoops. God fuck. Jesus. Whoop. Alright, now let's build the floor. I'll put carpets. It won't be this ugly forever. Chill, chill, chill. Calm down. Holy shit. So does the end screen count as a manifesto? Oh, damn, guys. We're really getting into this. Have you, like, looked at the lore behind the end screen? It's like two gods talking to each other. I don't even know what to make of that. Where to start with the end screen. But yes, it is the Communist Manifesto. I can confirm that. Oh, fuck. I'm so mad. What kind? I'm a market socialist. As of now. The amount of like research I've done on it has led me to kind of all like the fucking tests I've taken like scream libertarian left. I'm not a big fan of an authoritarian left agenda. Because it's a little scary. Because in my socialism is the most the closest you can get to like true democracy. Because essentially market socialism is democracy at the workplace, right? And what Marx talks about is like after the French Revolution, which he like grew up and after like 50 years after around, he saw that he admired the revolutionaries. He loved like that, I guess that like attitude. But he saw that capitalism was not the way to do it because they were advocating for democracy and fraternity and liberty and all that good stuff. And Marx was obviously very critical of capitalism because he argued that it's fundamentally undemocratic and it has to be undemocratic, and that there's a better way. So an example of that is the people who make all the like, you go to a workplace, you're a worker, you're not a capitalist. If someone says they're a capitalist and you're like, hey, where do you work? They're like, oh, I work at McDonald's. They're not a capitalist, they're a fucking pawn. They're being exploited. If you go to work at a company, and you fuck, my train of thought is dying. I need to get more wood. If you work for a company, how much influence do you have over your work environment, over the rules that govern how you work and when you work and what work you do and how much you get paid? How much influence do you have? You have none. You can negotiate maybe your salary when you first go, and you can build up the courage to talk to the big boss and be like, I want a raise. But at the end of the day, workers are expendable, and they have to be expendable. Oh yeah, can I explain more about Marxism? That's basically kind of what I'm doing. Look at that. Do you know Harrison? No, I don't. So, I mean, I know. No, I don't know Harrison. And he noticed, he called out a bunch of contradictions in capitalism, but the main one is that it's undemocratic fundamentally, and also self-destructive. You hear it all the time. There's like the business cycles, right? What's a business cycle? It's when the economy does really well and then it crashes. And everyone running for president's like, I will stop. There will be no more economic downturns under my presidency, which is a blatant lie, because capitalism needs to have that cycle. The reasons are a lot more nuanced than what I could ever explain. But an example of it is, we had huge, like in the 1920s, we had great employment, was fantastic. People could buy the products they were creating. They were making enough money, wages went up, and people could buy the items that they were creating. Well, after a while, I don't know if this is the exact time zone. After a while, people found a more efficient way to make products, and instead of having the consumers be the producers, like having Americans working in American factories making American products to then sell back to Americans, the American companies were having the producers and the laborers be sent overseas. So now they're making, oh god damn it, fuck. They're making products for incredibly cheap. No, I ran out of wood. Making products for incredibly cheap, but they can't afford to buy those products because they're not being sold to them. So like, because of that, what's going to happen? You have a surplus of excess product and not enough people to buy them. That's a problem. One of the big problems we face right now is that it's not that we don't have enough food to end world hunger, just that we have too much food and not enough people capable of paying and buying that food. That's my thoughts are not like well laid out right now. It's because I'm playing Minecraft and I don't have any notes to go off of. I wasn't really expecting to break down Marxism right now, because my understanding of it is pretty not as well, I guess, thought out as I wish it could be. So Mark's biggest complaint, I guess, and critique was that we claim to live in a democratic society, as in we can vote, we can go to a poll and we can vote for our senators and our speakers and our president even. But then we spend 7 hours or however many hours working for a person that we've never met, for a person that we don't know, and for a person who has complete control over our direct welfare, more than we would ever give to any government, right? More control over our direct life than we would ever allow a government to have, ever. So why is this such a big problem? Well, you're not getting what you should be getting from your labor. For instance, if you are like the products moving overseas, the people creating those products are not getting what they're worth. So think about it this way. Man, my thoughts are not. I feel so bad. It's like such a shitty explanation at this point, just because my thoughts are so sporadic. Well, I don't know the exact stats, but I think 1% of all shareholders. Well, how do decisions at a company, how are they made, right? You have the board of directors, and you have the shareholders. They make all of the decisions for any company. Now, when it comes to electing, now we can say that, oh well, we elect the board of directors. That's pretty democratic. We work like we elect the board of directors. That we all agree on that. Why did I not bring the rest of the wood? But the people who elect the board of directors are not the workers. They're the shareholders. And now I have a few shares in various companies that were given to me by like grandparents and as gifts. So I have seven shares in Apple. When it comes to determining when it comes to electing for a new board of directors, I have 7 votes. Now there's a lot more and a lot richer people who own a lot more shares. So their votes count for a lot more because they got more of them. Man, what's the exact statistic? It's like 1% of the richest shareholders own 2/3 of all the shares. Like that, like all of the shares. Yeah. So those people will vote as many times as they can afford, because that's what it is. It's just affording more votes for the people they believe would be on the board of directors. And the board of directors, being on the board of directors is a very good job to have. It makes a lot of money. That is indisputable. So now we have the richest of the rich employing the richest of the rich to make decisions that influence the lives of oftentimes the poorest of the poor. And you can bet that the decisions that they make will always ensure that they stay in that position and that they hold on to that wealth. And they do that by cutting corners, by sourcing their factories and production lines outside of the US, which is less regulated, and cheaper, where labor is cheaper, or they replace it through automation, etc., etc. There's many ways to place workers, because at the end of the day, to a capitalist, workers are not people, they're expendable. They can be replaced just as easily as you can replace a bolt in your car. Now, that sucks if you're the worker, knowing that that's how you are viewed as a person. The people who hold your security, your financial security, your medical, your fucking medical insurance, all these very important parts of your everyday life, that they don't care about you. And they'll say they care about you. They'll make their little speeches at like the family day parties, where they'll be like, you workers really carry our, like, we could not be happier about the work you've been doing. You should feel good about what you've produced. Now let's all get drunk and party because it's, I don't know, fucking Christmas party. But at the end of the day, those are the people who will give up your jobs to make more profit. And a lot of people, and especially Marx, doesn't like that, because he's like, hey, wait, we just fought a revolution to ensure democracy for all, but the place where we spend most of our times is fundamentally undemocratic. I don't, like, why are we letting ourselves, why are we letting this happen? So he proposed, and I think a good example of this, really good example of this is the idea of worker co-ops, worker cooperatives, where the workers now, they vote democratically on manage. So basically, break down worker co-ops, and this is also a very Marxist idea, obviously. It's the idea that, so basically, I want to start a business, and so I get a loan from the bank. I got a loan from the bank. In my ideal society, the banks wouldn't be privatized. Private banks have higher incentives to not give out loans to things such as worker co-ops. So I get a loan from the bank. I start my business, and I then hire someone, and instead of that person working for me, we now both are owners of the business. I hired this person to manage, to I make, let's, like, I don't really say my business is I want to be a video game developer. So the only knowledge I have is how to code. This is not true. I don't know how to code, but I need someone who can do the art for my game. So I hire someone, an artist, and instead of them working for me, and I'm like, all right, here's how it's gonna go. You do this. I'll pay you $20 an hour for you to be my artist. You work for me now. Thank you for your time. Make art for my game. Instead of that being the case, this person now is a co-owner of my business. And if I'm a smart business owner, I would pick someone who I trust, who I would interview them to make sure their ideas line up with mine. And then we'd vote on. Yeah, no, they're not an idea. They're a real thing. They're very successful. The studies that talk about worker co-ops are incredibly successful. That's really cool. That I was actually doing research on co-op banks. Very, very interesting stuff. I'm a big fan of co-op banks. They seem like a much safer investment, in my opinion. So fuck my train of thought, man. I can't think for shit. I'm playing Minecraft. I'm just gonna yeah. All the employers and that I'm like overcomplicating this so much. All the workers own the business that they work in. They vote democratically on managers. They vote on big decisions that influence all their lives. And why is this so beneficial? Well, would a cooperative, would a bunch of workers who work in a factory, who own the factory, make the decision to outsource their products to India or to China? No, because they would lose their jobs, and they don't want to lose their jobs. Do they not have co-ops in America? They're very, very unpopular, and they're very hard to maintain. I know in England right now, or maybe not right now, this may be old. In England, whoever's running for the Labour Party is trying to pass a bill as two parts. One that that basically makes it easier to start a co-op sector, and that's what we need to do. We need to have a sector where co-ops are allowed to are given the chance to succeed, and then we need to give people the choice whether they want to go work for a co-op or work for a regular capitalist type business. That's what we need. Strange. It only helps everyone. Co-ops only help everyone, and that's why selling it as like a choice, because conservatives love the idea of choice, except when it comes to women's reproductive rights. But other than that, they love the choice of schools. They love the choice of medical care. So if you can sell co-ops as strictly democratic and beneficial and as a choice for the worker, it's going to be much easier to implement them into American society, which is very exciting. So learn about worker co-ops. Richard Wolff, if you don't know who he is, he's an economics professor at UMass Amherst University, right? Maybe? Is that what it's called? He's a socialist, and he talks about it. Yeah, they're shit. I mean, I don't know enough about, but so are the Democrats, right? If they're the equivalent to our Democrats, also shit, very two-faced. But the bill also allows for companies that are if a business is going to either go public with its shares or sell or even declare bankruptcy and to go out of business, this bill would give the workers... Oh, I fucked up my building again. God damn it. I need to make it one higher. I gotta look at my shit before I build it. It would give the workers the chance and the funding to buy it. So the workers could be given the opportunity to buy the business, which is how you basically can start worker co-ops without starting it from scratch. Basically, Marxism is a critique of capitalism and an ideology that looks at the flaws of capitalism and hopes on breaking it down and abolishing it as a system. And then obviously there's the very, very strong argument to be made that capitalism also takes away our democratic rights that we think we have when it comes to like our direct like politicians, because we all know that you can lobby and you can literally write bills if you have enough money to put in front of senators. All right, this house looks like shit. I'm gonna fix it up later. I'm pretty tired. This looks awful. I need to make it higher. I will do that soon. The more I learn about socialism, the more, bringing it back to Burnout, the more I learn about socialism, the more I kind of have like hope for the future, because just like feudalism wasn't the end of history, and just like slavery wasn't the best system we had, we are always evolving, and as we exploit, and as the rural Americans who face some of the hardest blows from capitalism begin waking up to the fact that their mining jobs won't be coming back if they live under capitalism. Their mining jobs aren't going away because people are investing in renewable energy. No, their mining jobs are leaving them because they were never worth the time and the money to the capitalists who own them. I think a pretty safe way to sum it up is capitalism is like an abusive boyfriend, you know? I made a TikTok yesterday that said Republicans are in an abusive relationship they don't know how to get out of, but it's not necessarily Republicans, it's anyone who lives under capitalism, in my opinion. Capitalism is like an abusive relationship. We're always promised that they're gonna change. This is the last time they're gonna act this way. That if we just vote for this one person, everything will change and there will be no more recessions, and they lie every time and they get away with it, and every time we come back apologizing. Socialism is going to come into popularity. The more we push for candidates like Bernie Sanders, who did a great job of neutralizing the term and not making it so destructive, the more we learn about it, the more we are exposed through climate change and coronavirus to the fundamental issues that Marx predicted and was right about in capitalism, the more people will want to find a better way, and socialism is a much better way. And then after that, we can go full fucking communist if we want. You know, the sky's the limit from there. Once we can abolish capitalism as a system, whew, human rights for everyone, my guy. Everyone gets it. Not just if you can buy it. An ideal world is one where we don't need to buy our human rights. We live in a society where you literally get more human rights the more money you have. And we shouldn't settle for that. People are conservatives because they're masochists. You can't respect yourself and be a conservative unless you are incredibly wealthy and a conservative. Then you are a capitalist and an asshole. If you want the clearest example of capitalism exploiting, capitalist exploitation, just look at our planet. Because the planet can't really take to the streets and protest. I mean, that's, you could draw conclusions, so that's what climate change is. It's a protest of the planet to beg the capitalists to stop. And if you think about it that way, you could say that the planet's going on strike, holding back its resources and its and not allowing itself to be exploited by sending us fucking floods and the warmest days on record every single year. We live in a society. We do. We really do. How dare I live in this society and question it? How dare I question capitalism but own an iPhone? How dare I? How dare you? The skater change. Yeah. I really like socialism the more I learn about it. Wow, it's really fun. I took a test. An ideology test. That told me that I am a market socialist. And a libertarian. I don't know how I feel about the libertarian part. But I think if we can have democratic workplaces, we can have more democratic governments, so we can still the trust in the government, because if we can vote out our managers and our employers, then voting out our elected officials is going to be much easier. People blame people using plastic straws instead of companies' massive emissions. Yeah, socialism is different than communism. Yeah, communism, Marx said, is the logical step after socialism is put in place. Capitalism and democracy is a logical step after feudalism. After capitalism eventually fails, and people wake up to the notion that they are being exploited, socialism is the next logical step. And after we can live in a socialist society, and whatever contradictions presents itself in socialism, the next logical step is communism, and then anarchism, and all those crazy radical leftist terms that your everyday person won't understand and that most leftists say just to be edgy. I like the idea of anarchy. That's right now we need to push for market socialism. And before we push for market socialism, we need to push for just like Medicare for all and the very basic. Because when shit like the Green New Deal and Medicare for all and that stuff goes into play, and the people who watch Fox News and believe that the socialists are communists to implement fascism, which is such a dumb statement, I can't even begin to explain how dumb that is. But once they realize the benefits they are getting from socialized Medicare, they will be a lot more open to the ideas, because the best way to prove it is to change people's minds directly. And that's why conservatives are so anti-socialist, because they know they need to know. You need to be a little smart to become a politician. I hope they need to know that socialism is a much better alternative to capitalism, but they need to reject that, because if they give in, they will lose all of their funding. Would you ever debate someone? I would like to debate someone. I would. I'd like to debate my grandfather. My grandfather's a capitalist. He owns capital. He's a business owner. He had factories in Alabama. Like, he's a full-on capitalist, and I would love to just not debate him, but just have a conversation with him. It seems very interesting to figure that out. Yeah. Ron DeSantis does have no smart. You are correct. Yeah, Bernie's radical here. We are very right-leaning, just fundamentally, in America. Portugal is a great example of... Right? Is that Portugal? I'm thinking of? Yeah, Portugal is a great example of a very, very strong socialist economy right now. Obviously, it's not 100% socialist because they have to compete in a worldwide capitalist market. Hold up, guys. Let me just open my LaCroix. Excuse me. I need that sweet, sweet, sparkling pamplemousse. Yeah. Capitalism is an abusive boyfriend that all of our smarter friends are telling us that we need to break up with them, and we refuse to, and we ignore all of the exploitation being thrown upon us, and looking at the few good things that we've gotten out of capitalism and trying to prove to ourselves that we are not in an abusive relationship and that capitalism actually loves us very, very much. And if capitalism ever fails us, it's not because it's capitalism's fault. It's because we just didn't do enough. We didn't lift ourselves up by our bootstraps enough to make capitalism happy. And that's why capitalism is acting so erratically and like such a douchebag. Not because capitalism is fundamentally flawed and an abusive boyfriend, but because we failed him. That's my analogy. Hope you enjoyed that. Marxism and Minecraft. That was fun. Yeah, I was thinking about why I'm not conservative. I do this a lot. I love doing this little thought experiment. Like, why am I left and not right? Like, there are some very stupid but valid reasons that people on the right have. Why did I not fall into those traps? And it's because I care about human rights and equality. Isn't that metaphor like kind of freaky? I need to make a TikTok about that. I should make a TikTok about that. That'd be kind of funny. Like a little skit. For real, politics right now is trying to get... Yo, Ben Shapiro. Let me finish this. Let me go to Twitter. Let's watch this clip. Let me pee, wash my hands for 20 seconds, and then come back and watch this clip of Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro. Oh, man. Might be on YouTube. I might have to find it on YouTube.
Okay, empathy is actually kind of bad for...
Okay, yeah. The empathy is kind of actually bad for politics meme. I'm excited. We'll... Oh, whoops. Wrong one. We'll look at that. Very, very soon. That's a good meme. That's a really good meme. That's a very, very good meme. All right. Let me pee in peace and not get bullied, okay? I will wash with soap. Okay? Let me go to face cam. I'll turn it. See, that's my bathroom. Okay? I will open the door when I wash my hands. Okay? I'll be back. I'm also going on mute. If I take a while, it's because I'm on my phone, okay? I don't need to stand for your guys' shit. if you even try to deny that that wasn't perfect, that wasn't the best hands washing you've seen in your life, you're lying. The water is running. Oh my God. You're pathetic. You're pathetic. The American people, tired of women. I will be racist again. Upper middle class, son of a grandson of a fucking capitalist. That's what you get. Isn't that weird? Isn't it weird fighting for socialism when I've benefited so much from capitalism? My hands are red, guys, because I burned them. I put like, I didn't put any of like the cold water. I can't win. I can't win. I hate it here. Okay, well, whoops. Throwing up gang signs, exactly. Okay. Ben Shapiro, what do you have to say? I think everyone and their grandmother has made fun of this clip because I think he deleted it. Exactly. You provoked my fragile masculinity. I have no other option than to fight. So Ben Shapiro, he believes so. Empathy, before you watch this video, is the ability to put yourselves in someone else's shoes. Think about how you might feel living their reality. Right? That's or is that sympathy? No, that's empathy. I'm right. I'm never wrong. Yeah. Versus sympathy. Sympathy is like feeling bad for someone. Yeah, sympathy is like a step before empathy. Men's right activists are stupid. Unless they mean like trans men's rights, then I can get behind that. We have rights. What did Geek say? He sounds like a sophomore in his try and play devil's advocate. So let's say hypothetically speaking. So let's say, that's all he says, let's say. Oh God. Adrian's a closet Ben Shapiro fan. Actually, I know you're memeing, but like, I never watched the SJW get wrecked videos. I just thought they were cringy. Like, not cringy for the SJWs getting wrecked. But like the other way around. I'm like, this is a waste of your time. All right. What is his bio? Editor Emeritus. Stop trying to sound smart, Ben. Okay, so Ben Shapiro, obviously, he's the facts over feelings, right? Facts don't care about your feelings. So naturally, he is a sociopath, because he's unable to feel empathy. That's what a sociopath is. And if you only go by facts over feelings, the facts don't care about your feelings, you will have incredibly destructive policies being made. Anyways, let's watch this video.
Okay, there's only one problem. Okay, empathy is actually kind of bad for politics. The reason that empathy is bad for politics is because it leads you to empathize with people that you are more likely to like, as opposed to people you don't like. Okay, so first of all, the pitch for empathy is actually, there have been several books that are written on this, social science books, talking about how empathy is not actually the best thing for politics. It actually almost deactivates the reasoning centers of your brain. Because when you're empathetic, you don't actually create good policy. This doesn't mean that feeling sympathy for people is a bad thing. It means that if empathy is what drives your policy making, you're probably not acting in a rational fashion. But the real goal here is, of course, not to generate empathy. The real goal here is to suggest that if you disagree with the idea that America is systemically and institutionally racist, you are not an empathetic person, and therefore you're a bad, cruel, and callous person. The idea is that empathy is really about it's really a moral statement about what kind of good person you are. And you can't watch baseball until you say it along with Morgan Freeman.
Huh?
You can't. You can't just watch a game and be distracted, which is the goal of sports.
What? What did I just watch? What just happened in the last minute and 3 seconds? So, empathy is bad because if you imagine what it's like to be in someone else's shoes, you will make policies that support your. You will empathize more with people who are in your, what do you say? I guess like socioeconomic group or in part of your race. And because that is bad, you and now if you make decisions like that, you're illogical, and also that you aren't allowed to watch I don't know what he's talking about when it comes to baseball. I don't even understand the words he was saying. I'm a big fan of this camera work. That's actually very impressive. I do like that a lot. Nice. Money is very cool. So
Okay, there's only one problem. Okay, empathy is
let's go point by point. Empathy is when Morgan Freeman baseball.
it's actually kind of bad for politics. The reason
Empathy is actually kind of bad for politics. This is stupid. This is genuinely very dumb. He lives in a world where it's either like the only decisions you can make are ones that are purely based, like the like only driven by emotions, versus ones that are only driven by facts. Because he's too stupid to understand the nuances of decision making, he believes that if you let emotions get in the way of, or let emotions work in tandem with logic and reason, you will therefore make decisions that are bad. But every policy ever made, ever in the history of everything stems from empathy. All the way back to the fucking Enlightenment ideas. The ability for Enlightenment thinkers who, to their credit, were very well educated, and if they wanted to, could live a life of lavish and not near royalty, and be very well off, but they were able to empathize with the TERFs. TERFs? No, TERFs are the fucking anti-trans feminists, right? Bruh. Anyways, they were able to empathize with the fucking people, the fucking peasants working on the farms, and because they were able to empathize with them and put themselves in their shoes and think about how it must feel being a human to work for people that exploit you to the fullest extent without even getting a chance to advocate for yourself and how you believe you should be governed. Those Enlightenment thinkers used empathy to come to conclusions, and come to conclusions on policies that were driven by facts and logic. Because at the end of the day, empathy is what drives our kind of like our asthmatic values, and our morality, I think, comes from empathy. There's a lot of people who argue that the ability to be empathetic is pretty exists in humans to a greater extent than any other creature, and to be empathetic to people who aren't just directly in your family. Okay, whoops, I said the wrong word. I didn't mean to say TERFs. What's the word for people who fucking like were peasants? Fuck, am I stupid? Serfs, not turfs. Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, J.K. Rowling's a turf. Serfs. Sorry. Wow. So empathy has been the driving factor, and then we make policies around that empathy. And like, for example, slavery. Dude, we didn't just... Why do you think we freed the slaves? Using facts and logic? Because facts and logic at that standpoint would be greatly in favor of slavery, because looking at facts and logic, well, if we look at the facts of the time, the scientific studies that they did proved to them that black people were inherently stronger and better fit for labor, that black people were not as smart as white people. So because they weren't as smart, they're much more complicit. Fucking John C. Calhoun stated, he was a Southerner from South Carolina, during like the antebellum period leading up to the Civil War. He claimed that slavery wasn't a necessary evil, but a positive good, because using facts and logic, well, we're giving these slaves like a house, and we're giving them a place to work, and we're giving them food. Like, this is a positive good. Slavery is a positive good. But it was the ability of leaders and abolitionists to be empathetic to a slave who was supposed to be, who a slave to them was someone who wasn't human, right? Because their facts and logic led them to the conclusion that it wasn't human. But using empathy, they were able to abolish slavery. That was the driving, like, we didn't just abolish slavery because facts and logic told us to. Because facts and logic told us that this free labor is really good for the economy, and that these slaves who aren't humans are actually benefiting from slavery. But it was empathy who that drove abolition. So his first point, that empathy is actually, what did he say? Empathy is actually really bad for politics, is stupid. It's so dumb. How are you so dumb, Ben Shapiro? How do you believe that empathy is bad for policy making? If I want to give a modern example, for what fucking reason do politicians, right now, let's look at the COVID relief bill. There's a clear example of lack of empathy when it came to the new COVID stimulus bill, because the people who needed it got nothing. The people who are unemployed, who are facing eviction, got nothing. The people who can't eat got nothing. Why? Because fucking Republicans, who apparently all seem to lack empathy, cannot fathom putting themselves in the shoes of another person who is struggling to survive week by week, day to day, because they physically cannot picture anything else but the wealth and prosperity that they have, and they lack empathy and are arguably fucking sociopaths who only look to benefit themselves. So actually, a lack of empathy makes really shitty policies, because at least we have a shit ton of new fucking fighter jets. Ben, you're so dumb.
That empathy is bad for politics is because it leads you to empathize with people that you are more likely to like.
Doesn't it not, though? Doesn't empathy lead you to give you the ability to put yourself in a group that is other than you, right? That's why abolitionists who were white and who weren't ever going to be enslaved, I don't think they were empathetic. I don't think they championed for abolition because they just liked the slaves that much. I think it's because they stepped back, looked at the situation, and imagined what it would be like to be a slave at the time, and realize that, holy shit, I would hate to be in that situation. I can't imagine how they feel. They must not be happy either. I don't think it's because they liked them. I think it's just because they realize that they wouldn't want to be in their position, right? I empathize with the poor, not because I just love poor people. It's because I would be terrified. I wouldn't know how to act in that situation. I wouldn't know what it would be like. My dad grew up very, very poor. He had to sell milk from his cows to afford summer school because he was failing out of high school. This was in Italy, not in America. But it's not because I like poor people. It's just because I don't want to live in that situation. And I don't want other people to have to live in that situation. Not because I fucking like them. Sure, there's a bunch of shitty poor people, just like there's a bunch of shitty rich people. And I don't like it when poor people fucking steal things. Like that's another example when with all the looting and rioting that happened after the death of George Floyd, people who were capable of empathy realized that didn't just look at the burning building and think, oh my god, this is a threat to our democracy, and this is absolutely disgusting to see these savages burn down buildings. No, I was like, hold up, why do they feel the need? What has happened? Where did we go wrong? That the only way this community felt like they could grab our attention was to burn down a Target. And at the same time, because I'm empathetic, I would see people burn down little mom and pop shops. And I would be empathetic to the black owners of that shop or any owners of the small businesses. And I would put myself in that shoe. And I would realize how that family must feel watching these protests take away their livelihoods, and I would feel empathy towards them. So then I would go and advocate on like TikTok to get people, when they go out and protest, to step in the way and to film looters and rioters, and to make sure those people are separate from the greater movement, and to make sure people understand that there's a separation between supporting the idea that black lives have worth and stealing from a family's barbershop. You know, it's because I have some type of empathy that I can make those big brain logical decisions that I like it, that the empathy allows me to realize that, man, something must have happened that these people feel like the only way to get attention is to burn down a Target. And then the same empathy allows me to be like, man, maybe we should only stick to Targets, because it must suck to have your entire livelihood burned down. That's empathy, baby. They say facts don't care about your feelings, but the reason we have these feelings, the reason I'm empathetic towards people who suffer at the hands of an oppressive police force, is because I look at the facts of the situation. I did the research. I look at the actual data that tells us flat out that there is racial bias in this system. So because of those facts, that triggers the empathy part to do work. How do you not get that? You're so ugly.
As opposed to people you don't like.
Yeah, well, I just talked about this. If someone I don't like... But that's the thing. I do that too. I do that with conservatives all the time. I was just talking about this. I was just talking about the fact that sometimes I step back to think about why I'm not a conservative, or I try to empathize with conservatives or with people who fall to the alt-right. I look at why it happened. I look at the facts of the situation and what led them to their conclusion, to their ideology. And I don't do that because I like them. I don't like neo-Nazis, as much as my chat likes to pretend I'm a closet fascist. I do not like neo-Nazis, but I possess the ability to have empathy, right? So I look at my enemies, the people I don't like, and I try to question, how did they get here? Why are they this way? And then I try to break up that chain that led them there. I try to put blockers so they don't keep falling down that path, because after doing research and looking at the trends that you tend to find in the alt-right, I try to find places to break up that pipeline. And it's not because I like neo-Nazis. It's because I don't like neo-Nazis. And I'm empathetic to the poor kids who are taught that the only way they can fit in is if they fucking burn down a fucking place of worship. Because there's better ways to fit in. Join a book club. Not the KKK. Join a book club. That should be my slogan. Everyone in my chat believes I'm a fascist. That's like, it's a meme. I'm not a fascist. How would I be a fascist? Only Ali believes I'm a fascist, and it's because I was racist towards Indians. I'm sorry, I racist towards Indians? But that's just because I don't believe Indians should have human rights, you know? That's just... And that's my empathy talking. That's my empathy. Anyways. We're like 10 seconds in. Ben Shapiro has said nothing that's even remotely correct. Everything he said contradicts himself. He is really just a 13-year-old.
Okay, so first of all, the pitch for empathy is actually... There have been...
Look how angry he is. Look how angry he is. Okay, first of all, guys, the pitch for empathy is... He's so angry.
As opposed to people you don't like. Okay, so first of all, the pitch for empathy is actually... There have been several books that are written on this. So,
like, he's so angry. Sorry, Ali, for being racist.
Social science books talking about how empathy is not...
Doesn't it kind of look like he's, like, pointing at his computer screen to, like, read along? Like, using his pointer to, like, keep track of what he's reading? Doesn't it kind of look like that?
Actually, the best thing for politics. It actually almost deactivates the reasoning centers of your brain.
No. Who's the fucking philosopher? I think it's either Plato or Socrates. But there's like the 3 different driving decision makers. There's like the instincts. So like that's like eat food, have shelter, fuck. Like the animal instincts that we have. And then there's the feelings part that Ben Shapiro hates. Ben Shapiro doesn't like the feelings. And then there's the third one, which is like facts and logic. Ben believes in facts and logic. Big brain Ben. But whatever the philosopher who theorized this, it's either Socrates or Plato, they claim that you cannot be fully human if you don't incorporate all 3 of those at the same time. That if you only work with logic and like the animal instincts to fuck, then you are like destined to be a fucking serial killer sociopath. But if you only are driven by your emotions and your biological instincts to fuck, then that's what he called being based. But the fucking philosopher is like, no, you need to use all 3. So Ben's just actively ignoring the second one, the one that allows us to empathize, and going for facts and logic.
Because when you're empathetic, you don't actually create good policy. This doesn't mean that feeling sympathy...
I would love an example of this. What's a bad policy that's come out of feeling empathetic? Because I can name... Because almost only bad policies come out of a lack of empathy. Like our new stimulus bill.
For people is a bad thing. It means that if empathy is what drives...
Sympathy. So sympathy, we just looked at the difference. It's like... sympathy yeah, sympathy is like being like, oh man, I feel so bad for you. Sympathy is kind of like the white savior complex, which is so much worse than empathy. If you sympathize with someone, like that's good, that's fine, that's good and great. But if you sympathize with someone, you're like, oh, it's like being at the top of your ivory tower. If I sympathize with everyone, I'd be like, oh man, I'm sorry you're poor. That must really suck. And like schwip away in the Tesla. That's sympathizing. Empathy for someone is going to bed at night and like being like, holy shit, what if I was in that position? Oh fuck. Oh Jesus. Man, I wouldn't be able to afford this. I wouldn't be able to like just go on Amazon whenever I want and just buy shit that I want. Like my mom's like I wouldn't be able to afford all these things. Like I couldn't like ask my parents if I could like go to a concert, and they wouldn't be like, oh, of course, like how much are the tickets? I'd be like, oh, they're like 150, and they're like, oh, okay, that's fine. Like I wouldn't be able to do that. Like all these just experiences, man. I wish everyone could have the abilities and the financial security, and like why am I able to break my arm and go to the hospital and have healthcare cover it when other people can't go to the hospital and they have their arm broken for the rest of their lives and it doesn't set? Man, I wish everyone could have the same freedoms and liberties that I've gotten from being white and upper middle class. Man. And Italian. I am Italian. That's empathy. And that's why good policies come from empathy. Because good policies, in my opinion, I guess, because this apparently is an opinion, are policies that ensure the equality among all people, regardless of race, gender, sex, or wealth. That to me sounds like a pretty good policy. Yeah, my dad is from Italy. I'm Italian. In my book, that checks all the boxes of a good policy, ensuring the happiness of everyone regardless of how they choose to identify, their socioeconomic status, their race, where they're from, what languages they speak. That's a good policy. And we do teach empathy in grade school. Treat people the way you want to be treated. That's the golden rule. When I went to like elementary school, they're like, treat people the way you want to be treated. Remember the golden rule? How would you feel? And like if I ever like bullied someone, like my teacher would be like, Adrian, come here. How would you feel if Jessica called you a slut? I'd be like, oh, I feel pretty bad. Be like, yeah. So maybe don't call Jessica a slut. You know? That's what empathy is. We are taught it. As humans, we need to be empathetic, or else we would just kill everyone. Literally, a lack of empathy is being a sociopath. I don't know what point he's trying to make. Why is he trying to sound smart about this? What was the last point he said? Let me take this point by point. I'm rambling.
You don't actually create good policies.
Oh, good policies.
This doesn't mean that feeling sympathy for people is a bad thing. It means that if empathy...
Yeah, so this is actually wrong, because if you feel sympathy and you create policies based on sympathy, sure, they're good in some respect, but you are just being kind of like that white savior, being like, I mean, holy shit, fucking colonizers that would go to African countries, and they would feel sympathy for the savage natives that they met there. They'd be like, oh, these poor people, they don't know the teachings of God, they can't speak English. These poor people, like, what's a fucking British accent? The meaning of God. I can't speak English. Ah, fuck, that's bullshit. So they felt sympathy. They're like, oh man, these people fucking, man, I'd hate to be them. Oh boy. I'd hate to have to wear a cloth around my dick instead of pants. Yeah, Adolf Hitler would 100% agree with with Ben. I almost said Bernie. Ben. I mean, besides the fact that he's a Jew, but Ben would definitely be like a good Jew, you know? He would survive a little longer. But he would be gassed. Yeah, but Adolf would 100% line up a few of his beliefs with Benjamin Shapiro's beliefs. I know my accents are horrible.
Is what drives your
Sorry.
policymaking, you're probably not acting in a rational fashion.
No, you are. It's rational to like care about other people and to like put yourself in their shoes. It's more irrational just to sympathize and then make policies than it is to fully envelop yourself in their situation and really spend time trying to imagine what that's like. You know the fucking TV show like Undercover Boss? This is a kind of base TV show. It's like a boss like pretends to be a worker. Like an owner, a capitalist, pretends to be a proletariat. The bourgeois go undercover. And they basically like work like they're told what to do. Like no one knows that it's the boss, which is a red flag in itself. I am an actor and I should be better at accents. I'm so sorry. It's just a pressure. I need time to practice. Ooh, excuse me. I think it's a red flag like in itself that the like business owner isn't recognizable by the by like the people working. Like the fact that they're that disconnected. I'm not a big fan of that. But the business owner would like go undercover. They would like act like for an entire day, just like be a worker, be like a new guy, get trained, and then towards the end of the episodes he would see like all the shitty the working conditions and like all the shitty things that he like at the end of the day they like almost every time it was like, oh wow, I can't believe like this is how they're working. Like I really thought I knew, but apparently I was wrong. Like I didn't know that these guys weren't given breaks and they only had 2 minutes to go pee or like, you know. So they would often, I don't know if maybe it's just for TV and they wouldn't actually change their policies because capitalists are like heartless people and sociopaths but they would literally be put in the shoes and be forced to empathize, and then oftentimes policies would change. So like those are good policies. I mean, what's your definition of a good policy, Ben? I'm sure we have very different definitions of a good policy.
But the real goal here is, of course, not to generate empathy. The real goal here is to suggest that if you disagree with the idea that America is systemically and institutionally racist, you are not an empathetic person.
This is so out of left field. I mean, to disagree with the fact that America is institutionally and systemically racist is just wrong. Like, it's not that you lack empathy, it's just that you lack facts and logic because you can't read.
And therefore you're a bad, cruel, and callous.
Yeah, I'd say if you're actively ignoring statistics that are 100% authentic and backed up by multiple peer-reviewed studies, you lack both empathy and, more importantly, facts and logic.
Person. The idea is that empathy is really about, it's really a moral statement about what kind of good person you are. And you can't watch baseball.
I'm so confused by this baseball part. 1 second. Yeah, Ben Shapiro's good policy is an oppressive policy.
And you can't watch baseball until you say it along with Morgan Freeman.
What is he saying? You can't watch baseball until you ran along with Morgan Freeman. Stand along with Morgan Freeman. Sing along with Morgan Freeman. I'd love to sing along with Morgan Freeman. That'd be so fun. What a nice duet.
You are. And you can't watch baseball until you say it along with Morgan Freeman. You can't. You can't just watch a game and be distracted, which is the goal of sports. Okay, there's only...
Man, this has, like, that sentence, like, has such a big, like, shut up and dribble, like vibe to it, you know? Like, when Lori Ingram was like, shut up and dribble, LeBron James. You're not allowed to have a political opinion. He's so dumb. Basically, fuck.
And you can't watch baseball until you say it along with Morgan Freeman.
he's getting so triggered right now. He was getting so mad that baseball, like, that people like took a knee during baseball. They always get so mad. It's so angry because they feel like they're always they feel so oppressed as just like being white. Because they're white, they feel like so oppressed, and they want their little relaxed time baseball to be like completely separate of any political influence, which is very funny because sports has always, for a very, very long time, been a driving force for political change, because athletes are people too, as much as Lori Ingram would like them to not be people, especially because they're mostly black, so she really doesn't want them to be considered people. She hates that. But because they're also people, they do have political beliefs. The only people in America who are not allowed to discuss and display their political ideologies so discreetly as everyone else are active members of the military. If you haven't noticed, Morgan Freeman is not an active member of the military, along with every baseball player currently. That would be a very difficult two jobs to handle, in my opinion. But so because they're not, they can voice their opinions all they want. But Benjamin doesn't like that because he's oppressed and he's attacked by radical left wing. So he believes the reason for this oppression of, I don't fucking know, white people, I guess, is because lately empathy has been driving policy, which is not new, hasn't been new ever. Anytime we've progressed as a society, it's because we've grown a little more empathetic to the people less fortunate than us. Like, do you think we just abolished the fucking child labor part of American history because suddenly children got like super expensive? No, that's not why we abolished it, because we were like, holy shit, kids should not be. Here's a beautiful example. What is this motherfucker's name? A very, very famous photographer in the whatever our Industrial Revolution was. This photographer is incredibly famous for exposing child labor in America. So Ben says that empathy drives bad policies. That is his thesis, right? That empathy... Okay, hold up. Let me... No, wrong one. Damn, I can't. There we go. Ben's thesis is that empathy drives bad policy. That's what that Twitter video is. He believes that empathy, the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes, drives bad policies. Well, we used to have a lot of child labor in America. And there was this photographer. What the fuck is his name? Got these on my site. I need to get ad blocker. Industrial Revolution in America took place at the turn of the century. Lewis Hine was a photographer who specialized and made a living off of capturing images from these factories and of children. Why am I getting so many goddamn ads? So what I notice about these pictures, first of all, is that they are all eye level with the kids. Do you know why he did this? Do you know why he made he positioned his camera to line up with the eyes of the kids because it allowed us to empathize with them. It showed, look at this picture. It allowed us to be their size. It allowed the viewer to put themselves in the shoes, to empathize with these kids and imagine for a second what it must have been like to be this young, to do this work. Look at the scale of everything behind him. He also, I studied this photographer a lot. He used a very shallow depth of field, so it looked like a mountain of material behind him. But his two tricks to capturing the hearts of the public and the empathy that the public had towards these kids is what in big part drove policy changes. You know, it's because we were able to picture the reality. Because when you're detached from the reality, I don't like that I'm getting so many fucking ads. When you're detached from the reality, oh boy, is it ever easy to not care, to not be empathetic to the reality. So Lewis Hines went in person, got on eye level with the kids, and triggered our empathy. And then we pushed for policies that changed their realities and abolished child labor. Look at this. Any person besides Ben Shapiro and probably capitalists and Republicans, look at this image, and either they imagine themselves in that position, or they imagine their kids, their own children, standing barefoot next to this machinery. These kids covered in fucking coal. So for Ben to say that empathy drives bad policies is incredibly concerning, that's his belief, when throughout history we've seen the ability to empathize with a group of people. Slavery, serfs, child laborers, that allowed us to push for change. Why is art so influential when it comes to these types of revolutions? Because it allows a lens, a physical lens, into the reality. You guys remember the picture, the painting of, or it's a picture of a slave whose back is shredded from whips? That picture didn't influence people because they liked slaves or because they I don't fucking know, whatever Ben Shapiro thinks. That picture influenced decisions and policies because it undid the years and centuries of work to dehumanize slaves. And it showed the slave as a human. And once a slave is thought of as a human, as humans ourselves, we empathize. So it's fucking bullshit. I swear to you, if every time I bought a shirt from fucking Hanes or whatever, and there was a picture of the kid who hand sewn that shirt for me, I would never buy it again because I would empathize with that kid. But because I don't see that kid, because I'm not exposed to their reality, it's very easy to disconnect. Ben Shapiro's very concerning. His platform is way too big for his level of intellect, which is close to none. I hope that I hope that he keeps running his mouth and producing content that is actually stupid, because it's content like this and like his BBC report and his quote that if you're worried about your house being flooded due to global warming, just move and sell your house. It's statements like that make him lose all of his credibility that he somehow managed to have gained So, yeah, that's my little section on empathy. I didn't think I'd be talking about that today. So many people have talked about Ben Shapiro. All right, let us read chat real quick. I haven't been paying attention. Bring us something negative about America. They label it as anti-America. Like, I like this country and I want to make it better / equal. Exactly. I mean, they sound like loyalists to the king or royalists. Yeah, no, loyalists. Dissent is very patriotic. Being able to point out imperfections is very patriotic. That's why we fought a fucking revolution. Because we're like, hey, this is unequal. We should not have to be taxed so much for our work. And people were like, yeah, I agree. That's a little uncool. And it took a while. And there were people who disagreed with that idea for some reason. But eventually, we fought a revolution. Yeah, isn't it more patriotic? Yeah, it's more patriotic to try to fix something. Because some people want to save our country, and other people want to keep it in a cycle of hate. The electoral college needs to go. The only type of college I don't support. Does a public vote on laws? Yes, that is what a referendum is. People don't know about it, but that was added. That law was passed. I think maybe in the progressive era as well. But it basically allowed people. Yeah, I think in the progressive era, it's a attempt to make it more democratic. It's just basically like a way for the politicians to ask the general public whether they like this or not. We don't vote on passing it sometimes. I think there's two different types of ways. We can, one of them, just ask for our opinion, and the other one is actually like the people voted in. There are ways that we can vote for laws, but they don't get enough attention, enough publicity to actually have any impact. So yeah, so at the end of the day, it is up to the representatives. Damn, Adrian, are you an English major? Because your analysis is on point. No. There's some weird things in our democracy. I agree with that statement. One of the weirdest things is that it's capitalist. Yeah, my family's pretty liberal. My mom was like super leftist in college. Very, very radical, but she's liberal now. My brother is like liberal, but he's also very scared of change, so he tends to not like to challenge authority. My dad is fucking going with the flow. He doesn't understand American politics too well, just being an immigrant. But he recently, my dad, this is a long story, but he got in a biking accident and he lost his memory. It's back now, but he doesn't remember the accident. But apparently my mom asked him who the president is, and he said, I don't know, he's just an asshole. So that's funny. I'm so left and my parents are conservative. Many fight secure. Hey, go to my section on civil discourse that I wrote. I gotta break down having a conversation with your parent, with people who you don't. I wrote a section on making, having arguments while making friends or like while keeping friendships. Like how to argue with people without destroying a friendship. Civil discourse, basically. Let me flex some of my work real quick. This is the equity blueprint that I'm one of the co-editors on. Yeah, my dad was very correct in his assertion that, man, he also forgot about COVID. All right, I make myself small. So I wrote So how to first read how to engage in civil discourse. I wrote this. There's a lot of, it makes sense that some immigrants support Trump. There's a lot of conservative Latinx populations, which is very backwards to me. But it's definitely interesting to look into. But anyways, read this if you are interested. It just talks about ways to engage in a conversation without like wanting to rip. Hey, look, it's me. Without wanting to rip your opponent's throats out. I enjoy it. I love talking to people. I love figuring out why people think the way they do. It's very, very interesting to me. I love like connecting the dots that led them to their path of logic, I guess. This is such a great website if you want to talk about, yeah, if you want to talk about BLM with people. It literally just gives you like arguments, like protests are violent. Is a very, very good source. Very nice. Very easy to read, bite size, you know? All right. I need to end the stream. I've been live for so long. This is so much fun, guys. Please be well. Please take care of your mental health. It's a long fight. It's a good fight. It's a very fun fight. Depending on who you're talking about. But it's long. And we do not want to burn out, or we will lose, and all our work will go with it. Reform or revolutionist? Reform first, and then revolution. It doesn't work. I think I'm more of a globalist. Oh, I'm 100% more of a globalist. I am for revolution. TBH, because... Oh, no, Ethan, you're back? Fuck. I'll be posting the segments on YouTube. Damn, that's so sad. I don't know. Reform or revolution is kind of hard because I think good reform is an overhaul. So I guess that would be considered revolution. I want more fascist and racist streams. Okay. See you later, Ali. Goody. There's your racism. Full of anger. I almost enjoy my anger. Yeah, no, my anger is pretty dope. But if you can redirect it to like positivity, it's kind of cool too. All right. Ethan, I'm glad you're back from your nap. I will see you all later. Take some time to yourselves. Oh fuck, I'm so tired. I might go outside and nap. Alright. I'm gonna get canceled in 2 years. I've said much worse. When I was like a little 8th grader who was ignorant, I've said much worse. Alright. I'll see y'all later. Oh, Nadia, you're moving. God, I forgot. Damn. Bye, yo. I'll post this shit on YouTube right now.